Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the next game in the NBC Game of the Week 1973 style. This game was played July 21st, 1973, just before the All-Star break. And I want to welcome Kenyon Gray, Mr. Jeffrey Gudeman from Strat-O-Matic Network, Robert from RJL, and Ben Witz. Thank you all for starting your Saturday afternoon with me. I'm going to try to position this thing here to show everything. I did go ahead and print these off just for people that like to see it in the beginning of the game. I'm not going to show it the whole game, but it's there in case you want to make a mental note of who's on the bench and who's in the bullpen and the starting lineups, of course, for both teams. Now, I am using the old Strat-O-Matic Form B, but I did make a slight tweak to it. What I did is I didn't like the fact that you only had this spot here for both teams' pitchers. So I made a photocopy of this and put it over here. So now each team has 5 bullpen slots. So that's my little tweak because I didn't really use the stuff that was on the side here for notes or anything. So that was kind of wasted space for me personally. So that's what I did. Now, I wasn't at first going to do this. I was going to use a grease board, my old grease board that I pulled out of the rubble for to put who's on the bench and bullpen, but I did put the standings on here so you can see the current standings. Not much of a pennant race in the American League West. Oakland has that pretty much taken care of. I listed all the teams that were over 500. If the rest of the teams in the league are under 500, so it's top heavy with Boston and Oakland kind of blowing everybody away. Baltimore is 7.5 back. Minnesota barely hanging on at 47 and 46. But this race here in the West is pretty much over, so I probably won't show Oakland again until the playoffs because I don't think there's going to be any pennant race there. Second half of the season, I'm going to show a lot of the National League because that's where the pennant races are, but I will try to show some Boston and Baltimore games as well as needed with the, to keep it in the pennant race, so to speak. So let's see what we got here. Maybe I can tweak this a little bit over here. I don't know. I want to see what you guys are seeing. Let me sit down so I'm not looking through my phone anymore. Now I can actually see what you guys are seeing. Looks like you can still maybe we can push this over this way a little bit. Tabby is here. She's not on her perch. She's on the floor, but you might be able to hear her in the background, or if you can't, we might have a feline delay coming along at some point. I don't know. I might have to put her perch back over because now she's upset because her perch is not there. So let me grab that. I want to keep Tabby happy because if Tabby ain't happy, nobody happy. So I'll put her perch back over there. Let's see. I might be able to squeeze all of this in, but I'd really rather close in on the cards, to be quite honest with you. So I'm not really sure this board here is even relevant to show. So I think I'm actually going to lower this so that we can get a better look at the cards and dice. So let's see how that does. Let me see how that does for you guys. Let me move it over here. Hopefully everything is still visible. It's a work in progress, folks. It's a work in progress. Okay, I think that shows everything, if I'm not mistaken. I think right there is the sweet spot. I think that's the sweet spot, so that's what we're going to go with. So if you want to take a look at this, if you want to make a mental note of this, that's who's on the bench and bullpens, but I'm going to have it off to the side. I'll only bring it back on when there's going to be substitutions or bullpen activity. The one thing I have not done is the ballpark effects, so I will do those on camera using the super advanced weather effects for Boston's Fenway Park. And this is a day game in July. So day game in July is right here for Boston. So a 1 to 11 is good weather, 12 to 17 is average, and 18 to 20 is bad. And we get a 17, so we actually have average weather. So it's a 12 for both righties and lefties for base hits, and home runs, 7 for lefties, 17 for righties. I guess that's the green monster effect, if you want to call it that. So that's the ballpark home run chances for both lefties and righties, as well as the single chances. Do have a dice here close to Boston Red Sox colors as I can get. Starting pitchers for today's game, Marty Patton for Boston, 15-15 with a 4.31 ERA. And for Minnesota, it's Dick Woodson, 10-8 with a 3.95 ERA. So those are your starting pitchers for today's game. And now that the ballpark effects are out of the way, Tabby is back on the floor again. I don't. Tabby does what Tabby wants. I can't control what a cat does, so they have a mind of their own. So we are ready to go. Hello, Captain Carl, Jeremy, Chuck, anybody I missed earlier. Sorry about that. Welcome everybody for your visitation on this Saturday for this ball game. All right, so Marty Patton is going to finish up the warm-up tosses for the Red Sox, and he'll be facing Larry. Oh, one thing I forgot to do: the pitcher and catcher interface. Patton is a +2 hold. Fisk is a -3 arm, so that makes it a -1 aggregate for the Boston battery. For Minnesota, Woodson's a -3 arm, a -3 hold, and Winterball's a +1 arm, so that makes that a -2. So -2 and -1 are the effects. Hello, Alan. How are you doing? So -1 and -2 are not the bullpen, but the pitcher-catcher holding runner effects. All right, I think we're ready to go now after all that rigmarole. Hopefully, can you guys see the cards okay? That's the big thing. On my computer, I can't really tell that well. But if you can see the cards okay, then we will sally forth and move on. Don't know how clear they're coming up on my thing here. But we'll go with it. I think it's the best I can get right now. I think it's the best focus I can get. Let me look through the phone one more time. I'll try one more time to make sure there's not a problem with any focus. Okay, so here we go. All right. Well, obviously you can see on the bold where the base hits are. So, all right, we're ready to go. Marty Patton against Larry Heisel. Heisel not very good in the outfield. A 4 with a +4 arm and an E14, but the dude can hit, so that's why he's in there. Patton 3-7, and that's all he's hits in column 3, and he found a ground ball to short. Go figure. So Heisel grounds to short, one away for Hall of Famer Rod Carew. Speaking of somebody that can hit. 5-8 against the lefty. That's a ground ball to second, so Carew grounds out to his counterpart. At second base is Doug Griffin for the Red Sox, so Carew is retired. Here's the designated hitter, Tony Oliva, another Hall of Famer. 4-4 against the lefties. Ground ball, third base, X. We get our first defensive check, so I need to pull out my charts for that. Third base, X. Third base is Petrocelli. He's a 2E10. So pretty good fielder. 2E10 for Petrocelli. And we get a 2. Oh, that could be trouble. 2 and a 2 is going to be a single, so it's going to get by him. That's an 8, and he is an E10 at third base. There is no 8, but it is going to be a base hit as it snuck by him. So a 2-out single for Oliva, who does not run well at all. He runs at an 8, and he did steal 2 bases, got caught once, but with that -1 even making it worse, they're not going to try anything. So he's at first with 2 outs for Bobby Darwin, right fielder. 4-2. And that's a split chance for a ballpark home run right here. He does have normal power. Home runs for right-handers, 1-17. That's a 1. It is gone. Bobby Darwin theorized that he could hit a home run, and he just did it. A 2-run blast over the Green Monster. All the left fielder, Harper, could do was look at it. It's a 2-run bomb for Bobby Darwin. Darwin hit 18 home runs on the season, so definitely not chopped liver by any means. But after the first 2 were out very easily, Patton ran into problems. The seemingly innocent single for Oliva turns into 2 runs for the Twins. Here's Steve Braun, 1-8, and that's a walk, and that's one of the more common results after a home run is a walk because a pitcher gets careful. Braun will have to be held. If he wants to try for the lead, he needs a 5 or a 6, but a 12 he'd be caught stealing. If he gets the lead, it'd only be a 1-10 because you'd have the -2 here plus the -1 factor. So not a good Not a good percentage. They will hold him on, but he is not going to go anywhere. And the catcher, George Mitterwald, will step to the plate. Since he is being held, second baseman Griffin is responsible, along with the first baseman, Yastrzemski. Patton, 6'9", and that's a 1 for a double. 2 to 20 is a single. It's a 17, but they're two stars, or two asteroids, as Jeffrey Guterman likes to say. Two asteroids, so the runner on first base will get third. So Braun will take third base on the single by Mitterwald. I got him as a double here. Good thing I'm using pencil. So Mitterwald, a 2-out single. He will not be held. He's not a very good base runner. That I'm going to worry about holding him on. And here comes Jim Holt with runners at the corners and 2 outs. Left fielder Jim Holt. Yeah, he calls it asteroids. Just a little funny little name for it. That's all. For asterisks, same thing. 2 asterisks is what was on that single. So Patton to Holt, 5-7. Ground ball, second base, X. Nobody's being held, so there's no worry about losing your defensive prowess. Griffin's a 2E8. He's got to make this play to avoid further damage. Got to make this play to avoid further damage. A 2E8. And we get a 1. The evil D20 strikes again. A 2 and a 1 is an SI1, so that's going to score Braun. Make it 3-0 Twins. Mitterwald will have to stop at second unless there's an error. And we will check for that. That's an 8. And Griffin's an E8 at second. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Let me get the pitcher result here. I was on the pitcher chart. My bad, but it's still the same result. So second baseman an E8, and we get an 8. There is no 8 there for an error, but it is going to be a single for Jim Holt. It's 3-0 Twins here in the top of the first, and the Fenway faithful are not very happy about it. Of course, this could be a high-scoring game. I don't know the score of the actual game. I did not look it up to know for sure who won the game or what the actual score was. I think RJL typed it earlier, but I don't remember off the top of my head. Let me go back and scroll up here and see if he wrote it up here. Oh, 3-2 Boston. Okay, well, they've already blown by that. Hello, Thomas. How you doing? Hello, PFLQR. All right, so here is Joe Liss, first baseman. He's a 5E21, so Twins did not field very well, but they sure could hit. 6-8, and that's a strikeout, and the inning's finally over. So that's going to do it for the Twins, but they pick up 3 runs here in the top of the first. Could be a short day for Marty Patton. Good thing they've got 5 bullpen arms they can go to. Twins have 4 bullpen arms. The Twins are carrying an extra player, but the Red Sox are carrying an extra bullpen arm, and they may need it, as it turns out. So here's Dick Woodson. He will finish up his warm-up tosses. He's enjoying a 3-0 lead as he enters the game. And now here is, and speaking of charts, Strat-O-Matic charts, I don't know why, and this is going to sound like a criticism of Strat-O-Matic, and it is, so it's not taken out of context. This is a criticism. I will throw the criticisms at them left and right all I can with that ridiculous black set they keep selling out there. And instead of doing things people actually want, they create these black things that look like birth certificates that nobody wants, or few people want, or they get it and hold it in plastic thinking this can be worth something 10 years from now. It's going to be trash. People are trying to get rid of them probably. Speaking of charts, they don't sell these anymore. These are cardboard charts. They're the same material as the advanced charts. They're not this flimsy paper stuff. It's for $5. They used to sell on their website for $5. You can get these cardboard versions. They don't do it anymore. They spend their time on black sets. So, love the company. Don't care for the way it's run. All right. But what do I know? That's their company, not mine. They don't give a crap what I think. All right, here is Dick Woodson. That's my soapbox. I will now step off. All right, Dick Woodson to Harper. 1-3, and that's a strikeout chance. And not a chance, but it is a strikeout of Harper. So Woodson puts the K on Harper. And that brings up Reggie Smith, the center fielder. 1-8 is a ground ball to first, and that's going to be easily taken care of by Liss, even though he's got a 5 range. This one did not require a range check. Not really a rant. I could have gone a lot worse on a rant. That was just an observation, a critical observation. Let's call it that way. 1-6 for Captain Carl. Speaking of Captain Carl in the room, here's Captain Carl Yastrzemski. And a 1-6 is a split chance, and 11 is a double. So he will get that 2-out double. That's the last number in the double range, and he found it. So Yastrzemski is on. He will not be held at second base. And the baby bull, Orlando Cepeda, the designated hitter. Yeah, they only care about the green, which is why they're making the black to try to make money. 5-9's a fly ball to right, and that's going to end the inning. Nothing doing for the Red Sox. That's why I like the companies like Inside Pitch and Payoff Pitch, because they listen to their customers. Well, we could go on about that all day long. All right. Let's see here. Marty Patton will give it another go. He gave up those 3 runs in the first inning. Here's Danny Thompson. He's the only guy that did not bat in the first inning. If I was near Milwaukee, I would go, but obviously I'm not. So if they had something in the D.C. area, I might go. 6-7, fly ball to center field. Patton makes Thompson fly to Smith for out number 1. And we're back to the top of the order for Larry Heisel. He grounded to short his first chance. 111 on Heisel is a walk. So 1-out walk to Heisel. And he may be trying to get a lead here. He does need to get a 7. That's the only way he can get the lead is with a 7. So he's going to see if he can get that lead. He does not. It's an 8. He missed it by 1. So he will not go anywhere. He will be held, but he can't go anywhere because his secondary numbers are awful. He has to have the jump to have any success at all. Here's Rod Carew. 5-3. It's a fly ball left field X. That is Harper. He's a 3, but he's an E16. So it could be problematic on the error chances. 3 and an E16 for the left fielder. 3 and 11. He should get to that. Let's take a peek ski here. 3 and 11 is an F2. That is a total of 10. Not many errors when there's a 10. E16, and there's no 10 here. So he was able to make the play for out number 2. 2 down as Carew tried to go opposite way, but Harper flagged it down. 2 down for Oliva. Patton to Oliva. 6-11. That's a ballpark home run blast. He does have normal power. For lefties, it's 1-7. That's a 3. Oliva, 2-out magic again for the Twins, as this one is a 2-run shot. Again, with 2 outs, it happens. Oliva goes deep, and the Twins now lead at 5-0 on Marty Patton, and Patton's day might be very short. He is done in by the gopher ball twice. And now here's Bobby Darwin. He's the one that hit the home run the first time. These are on ballpark blast. 2-8, and he strikes out to end the inning. But 2 runs for the Twins, and boy, Patton, if he gives up the 6th run, he's got to come out. But they'd like to at least get 4 or 5 innings out of him. And they do have 5 relievers, but they don't want to use all 5 of them if they can avoid it. So here's Petrocelli. He will lead off. Hello, Brian B. How are you doing? In case you missed it, Brian B., there's the lineups. Since you seem to like I think you were one of these ones that liked these, so I brought it back just for this. It's off to the side, but I bring it out eventually, once in a while, so people can look at it. But it's not going to take up the room I need for the game. But there it is. Okay, enough of that. Here is Petrocelli. 2-7, and that's a walk. So a leadoff walk to Rico. He's not going to go anywhere at all. He's a terrible base runner. He had no attempts to steal at all in the season, so he will not be held. Woodson now to Pudge Fisk. 6-10, and that is a fly ball center field X. Center fielder is Heisel. And again, when you put a 4 in center field, you're just asking for trouble, but that's what they've got. A 4 and an E14 in center field. 4 and a 6 is going to drop in most assuredly, and it will SI2. So that means Petrocelli is going to take 3rd at a minimum. And now we have to check for an error. That's a 10. Usually 10s are okay on errors. E14, there is no 10, so just going to be a single. Basically turns into a single with 2 stars. And runners are at the corners with nobody out. Ben, I haven't thought about that. I'm not even sure how to do that. I'm not technically savvy. I guess you're saying I could take a picture of it and put it in the description? I don't know. I guess I could try that. I've never really thought about it, but that's certainly something that could be done. All right, so Rick Miller, the infield's back. They don't care if the run scores. They will gladly trade a run for 2 outs right now. 1, so Woodson with a wild pitch of 9, he could wild pitch somebody home right here. Does not. It's blocked by Mitterwald. And now Woodson will pitch it to Miller. 6-6 against the lefty. He's going to walk him. That's going to load the bases with nobody out. So back come the Red Sox. Game is literally never over in Fenway, especially with the conditions the way they are. The home runs are plentiful. And here's Doug Griffin. Bases loaded, nobody out. Infield certainly back looking for the double play. Woodson 2-6, and that's a strikeout, a huge strikeout of Griffin. 1 away. And that will bring up Mario Guerrero. I don't know if he's Super Mario or not, but he's going to try to be. Woodson to Guerrero. 3-6 for Guerrero. It's a ground ball, third base B. So almost assuredly that is just a 5-4 fielder's choice, but to be official, we'll bring the book out. Infield was back for the double play. It's a ground ball B. Bases loaded is a 4. Forces batter safe, runner on first out going to second. Everybody else moves up a base. Okay, that's what I was thinking. So Petrocelli will score the first run of the game for the Red Sox. Fisk will take third. Miller is out 5-4 on the fielder's choice. And Guerrero is at first. It's a 5-1 game now. Woodson trying to get out of this just the 1 run. And he's got to deal with Tommy Harper, but then there are now 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Infield is back. 6-5. That's a fly to center. That's going to end the inning. It would have been a sacrifice fly, but there are already 2 outs. So that's going to end the inning, and Boston just comes away with the 1 run. And that's it. That's all they get. It's kind of disappointing, actually, when you think about it. Just that 1 run. We go to the third. 5-1 Twins. But there's still 7 innings left, and anything can happen. Braun will lead off. 6-8 against the lefty. It's a solid single. So Patton is definitely not fooling anybody. Now the bullpen is loosening. Let's see who they want to, who's got some length they can go to out there. Well, Roger Moret's got plenty of length. So warming up in the bullpen for the Red Sox is Roger Moret. And on the 73 season, he was 13-2 with a 3.17 ERA. Started 15, saved 3. And he's got a fatigue of 4 in relief. So he is in the bullpen just in case Patton can't make it through this inning. Hello, Jimmy Jam. How are you doing? Mitterwald pitching to Braun will be held. He's not going to try to go anywhere, but he will be held. Patton, 4-8 against a right-hander. Struck him out. There's a dot there, but he's not tired yet. 1 away for Jim Holt. Jim Holt. 1-8 for Holt. It's a single, 2 stars, and that's going to move the runners to the corners. And again, Patton on his last leg. One chance for a wild pitch. He's a wild pitch rating of 2. And there is a wild pitch. He wild pitches in a run. How do you like that? Wild pitch from Patton makes it 6-1. And now Patton is tired because he gave up the 6th run. He is tired, but he's going to try to get through lists if he can, if possible. Patton 4-9, and that's a ground ball first base B. So that will move the runner to third with 2 outs. So runner on third, 2 outs for Danny Thompson. We'll see if Patton can get him through the inning. 110, and he does. It's a fly to right field. And I think that's going to be all for Marty Patton. We're going to cap him at 3 innings pitched. He's going to give up 6 runs. Unbelievable. 6 runs. All of them earned. 2 dingers. Let's see how many hits he gave up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. He walked 2. And he struck out 3. He struck out 3. So his final line score for Patton: 3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 6 earned runs. Of course, he is on the hook for the loss. And Roger Moret will come in and pitch the top of the 4th for the Red Sox. He is a hold of 0. Fisk is a -3, so this is now a -3. Not that the Twins would run, but just in case we need the statistics. He only made it through 18 batters, 3 innings, and he got run. All right, so Woodson now enjoying a 6-1 lead. Will be facing Reggie Smith, Yastrzemski, and Cepeda, the heart of the order. 1-7 struck him out. Reggie Smith out on strikes on a 1-7. Brings up Yaz. 2-6, and that's a 1-6 single, but that's a 20, so he grounds it to third. Easy play for Braun. 2 up and 2 down for the baby bull Cepeda. 3-6 for Cepeda is a 2-out walk. He will not go anywhere. Down 6-1. They're not going to try anything. He won't even be held. And Rico, the batter, Rico Petrocelli. Woodson 4-9. 1-12 is a single. That's a 20 though, so it's a ground ball to first. And Liss makes the play easily to end the inning. So that's going to do it for the Red Sox in the third. After 3 completed, it's 6-1. And the Red Sox won this game real world 3-2, so it's not turning out their way. Roger Moret's going to try to stop the bleeding, so to speak. He's going to face the top of the order, Heisel, Carew, and Oliva. Start the 4th. 1-9 against the lefty, struck him out. Now I got to remember, his left-handed is on the mound. I got to check the blue now. So struck him out. 1 away for Rod Carew. Carew's 0 for 2, very uncharacteristic with all this hitting going on. 5-10, and he's gonna be 0 for 3 now. It's a ground ball to second. So with all this hitting that's going on for the Twins, Carew actually is 0 for 3, which is unusual. Here's Oliva. For 8. Lefty on lefty is a strikeout. So Moret goes to the Twins very easily. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Moret goes to the Twins very easily, 1, 2, 3. And he's got some length, and they need some length because they had to go to the pen early. Woodson will now be facing Pudge to start the bottom of the 4th of a still a 6-1 game. One 7. That's a single, straight up single for Pudge. He's not going to be held and not going to go anywhere, not with the score the way it is. Woodson to Miller, 5-4. Ground ball third base X. Third baseman is Braun. He's a 4.27. Boy, the Twins fielding was just not good at all. Not good at all. 4 and a 1. Obviously, that's going to probably be a double. Actually, no, this is a single. I'm surprised they didn't make it a double. It is a single 2 stars on the 4 and a 1. That's an 8. And he is an E27. There's a 9 there, but no 8. So it's going to be a single 2 stars. As Miller sneaks it by him, and Fisk will take third. So runners are on the corners. for Doug Griffin. Infield, of course, is back. They will gladly give up the run to get the double play. Woodson to Griffin. 2-5, and it's a ground ball to shortstop. A double play, just what the doctor ordered. 6-4-3, double play. Run does come in, but the Twins don't care. No RBI given on the double play. They were playing for the double play, and they got it. Ground ball, shortstop A took care of everything. 2 outs and the bases are now clear. 2-10 is a walk, and that's going to flip the order over to Tommy Harper. Guerrero not going to be held again. It's 6-2, so they're not worried about base runners right now. Harper 0 for 2. 4-8, and he's going to be 0 for 3. That's a line out to second base. Of course, not being tired. His fatigue is a 6, and we're only in the 4th, so he's not tired. A run comes in to make it 6-2 after 4 complete here from Fenway Park. Yeah, Brian, I actually, one of the bullpen arms for Boston, Mike Garman, is a computer-generated player that I printed. So Mike Garman only had 22 innings, so I printed him off on the, with the snipping tool off the computer. So I do have that. Got all the players. Everybody else was pre-printed that's in this game, but I mean, if you go further on, obviously there are players that are going to be missing all over the place. That's just the way Strat does. Instead of giving us more players, they give us black. So, or red. That awful red that they did an all-star set last year. It was like all red and all blue. It was just terrible, hideous. I don't know who's making those financial decisions, but like Barnum and Bailey said, there's a sucker born every minute that'll buy it. So, all right, here's Moret to Darwin. 3-6 against the lefty is a ground ball to short. 1 away. And I do mean to trash Strat. I'm not being taken out of context. I am trashing Strat, left and right. Love the game. Don't care for the way the company's run. Bottom line. 3-6, and that is up here. 3-6 is a walk for Braun. And he will not be held. He's not going to go anywhere. Mitterwald, the batter. Chuck, that would only work if I was playing the 1999 season. 4-4, and that's a catcher X. So we're looking at Fisk for his prowess, and Fisk is a 1E5. So 1E5. 1 and a 5 is a P/P, and that is a 13, and he is an E. Where does he go? E5. There's a 4, 16, 17, 18, but no 13, so it is a P/P. So it goes P/P, and basically what we're doing now is looking at the wild pitch rating of Moret to determine whether a pass ball has occurred. He's a 3, and there's no pass ball. It is blocked by Fisk. Takes the pass ball away. So we'll try again. Moret to Mitterwald, 3-4, struck him out. Mitterwald is out, 2 down. For Jim Holt, left fielder. He still hits lefties fairly decent. Moret, 3-9, but not this time. He grounds to short, so we'll call it a fielder's choice, 6-4. To end the inning, so Moret has thrown 2 solid shutout innings in relief. Yeah, Joel, but I'm not paying $5 a month for it, so I used to, but I decided not to do that anymore. Most of the seasons that I really like with Strat, I have them in the cards and the computer at the same time, and that takes care of what I need because I can use the computer to simulate stats of the games I don't want to play if I want to do a season replay, and it also gives me all the cards. All right, here is, but I mean, everybody can do, that's the beauty of it. You can use it the way you like to use it. Woodson to Reggie Smith. 1-6, and that's a ground ball to second. 1 away for Yaz. Woodson enjoying that 6-2 lead he gets to work with. 5-9 against the lefty is a strikeout. He's not tired, so the strikeout is good. And here's Cepeda. 2-6 for Cepeda. It's a single to left field. 2-out single for the Baby Bull. He, of course, will not be held and not going to go anywhere. Rico Petrocelli. 2-8 for Rico. It's a single to right. There's a clutch there, but there are 2 outs, but nobody's in scoring position, so the single to right will stand. Now the question is, do they want to take a chance? Bobby Darwin's got a -2 arm. And let's see, Cepeda does not run well at all. Cepeda runs at an 8. 2 outs makes him a 10, not being held as an 11. Then you got the -2 there, makes it a 9, but then the +2 going from right field to third makes it back to an 11. But when you're down 6-2, you don't want to make the third out at third base, so they will hold Cepeda at second base. On the base hit by Rico. So runners are at the corners with 2 outs. Pudge Fisk, if he gets a hold of one, could make this an interesting game all of a sudden. Hello, Doug. How are you doing? One blast here makes it a 1-run game. 2-4, and now he's going to ground to second. That's going to end the inning. So they put 2 on, but they could not move them up. And we go to the 6th inning. Score still 6-2. This is the 3rd inning of relief for Moret, but he can go 4 in relief with no problem as a starter also. Moret 1-7. Liss single off of Moret. And that's the first base hit Moret has given up since he came into the game. Liss not going to be held. He runs like molasses. Here's Danny Thompson, shortstop, 0 for 2. 6-12 is a ground ball pitcher X, and I'm not doing injuries, so I'm not going to worry. At least I'm not doing pitcher injuries, so I'm not going to worry about whether he would be injured or not. I'm just going to play it out. 3E10 on the pitcher X result. 3E10. 3E10, we get a 3 and a 9, it looks like. 3 and a 9 is a G3, so the runner's going to advance. That's a 10, and he is an E10. 10 and a 10, there's an 11 there, but no 10. So it's going to be a ground ball, but the runner's going to advance. So it's a 1-3 ground out with the runner going to second base. So it turns out to be like a ground ball pitcher C in layman's terms. So 1 away, and that brings up the top of the order in Larry Heisel. 1, chance for a wild pitch of 3. And there's no wild pitch. Pudge blocks it. Moret, 4-12 against a right-hander is a walk. So he walks Heisel, puts runners at first and second. Does set up a double play for Rodney Carew, who's 0 for 3 in the game. Infield looking for that double play. 3-8 against the lefty is a fly ball left field B. That is out number 2. That brings up Oliva. Liss doesn't run well at all, so they're not going to try to even consider trying to move him up to third. I don't think he could anyway on that particular fly out, but not even having that thought. Here's Oliva, 2 up and 2 down, or 2 outs and 2 on, I should say. 1-12 against the lefty is a split chance. 1-19 is a single. That's a 4, but it's only 1 star, so it's going to load the bases. Bases are now loaded for Bobby Darwin, who hit a 2-run homer in the first inning. That was off of Patton. Well, now Tabby's making some noise. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but trying to get my attention, I guess. I don't know what she's doing over there. Tabby, what's wrong? Try to keep going here. 5-7 against the right-hander is a strikeout, and a huge one for Moret to get out of it with the bases loaded. And with the DH, we don't have to worry about trying to pinch hit for Moret, so he can go as long as we need him to. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, still 6-2. Boston's still hanging around. They're not out of it by any stretch. And leading things off will be Rick Miller. This is the fatigue inning for Woodson, inning number 6. So we'll keep an eye on him. 1-6 for Miller is a walk. So a leadoff walk. That's the first ding on his fatigue level. They will hold Miller, but down 6-2, they will not send him. And here's Doug Griffin. 5-8, and that's ground ball third base B. They get the fielder's choice. And the new runner at first is Griffin with 1 out. Same situation. They will hold him, but he won't go anywhere. For Super Mario. Super Mario. 5-7. 1's a double. Anything else he flies to center, so that's a fly out to center field. Well, that's a terrible writing there, wasn't it? Fly to center, and that's going to make it 2 away. Now Tabby's down near my feet. I don't know what she's doing over here. Tabby, come here. Where are you? Where are you? Where'd you go? I can hear her, but I can't see. Oh, she's under the... What are you doing here? Sit on the perch. If you want me to pet you, sit on your perch. Come on. All right, Harper. 1-4, and he's going to fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. So Woodson goes through 6 solid innings so far. No reason why not to bring him in the 7th. Now this is the fatigue inning for Moret, so we'll keep an eye on him. Steve Braun, third baseman, is your batter. Tabby, what's the matter? What are you doing? Hold on, we got a feline delay here, not up on the board, but just I want to see what's going on here because she's making noises. And I don't know what she wants. She wants to leave? Maybe she wants to leave. All right. Tabby's leaving the building. All right, not the same as Elvis, but Tabby has left the room. Not left the building, but left the room. So, well, Brian, everybody manages, to how they see fit. So, if you don't want to employ certain strategies, I guess that's, what you want to do. All right, now I'm going to look at the Twins bench because we're in the 7th inning, so now I feel free to make substitutions. Steve Braun's not a very good defender at third base. So I'm seeing who they have at third that might be better. Jerry Terrell is actually a little bit better at third base. And he's right-handed. So we're going to pinch hit for Steve Braun. Actually, no, we're going to let Steve Braun hit, and then we're going to take him out. Jerry Terrell will be coming in to play third base. He's a 3E20, whereas Braun's a 4E27. So let me make this move here. Terrell is going to be coming in the bottom of the 7th. But right now, Braun will hit. Moret 2-7 to Braun, struck him out. All right, so now Braun will leave, and Jerry Terrell will be taken over at third base going forward. Here's George Mitterwald, the catcher. Moret 2-7, and that's another strikeout. So Moret hanging in there. 2 up and 2 down for Jim Holt, and we might see a pinch hitter for Jim Holt too because he's a 4E11. He's going to hit because he's a good hitter, even though against lefties. He's going to hit, but they're going to probably go to the bench for a better defender in the outfield. And they're looking at Steve Bry. They are looking at Steve Bry potentially coming in to play left field. So we shall see. Right now, Jim Holt's going to hit, though. Moret 3-4, and that's a ground ball to second to end the inning. So Moret 4 shutout innings of relief. He's only given up 1 hit. So they may keep him going. We shall see. Holt will leave, and Steve Bry is going to be your new left fielder because Holt is terrible. So the updated lineup board now shows Jerry Terrell will be playing third base. Steve Bry is in left field. I've taken them off the screen. Moret in the bullpen has been removed. So that's where we stand right now. Everybody else is still in play. And Dick Woodson's still out there because he's got a 6-2 lead and he only has one knock against his point of weakness. So they're going to keep him out there. All right, Reggie Smith. I've got to make sure that, let me tilt this just a hair this way so we can start getting the edges of these score sheets as we move throughout the innings. I want to make sure they show up. All right, Woodson, 1-8 to Reggie Smith. He grounds it to first. And Joe Liss is there, one away for Carl Yastrzemski. Four 6 against the left-hander is a walk. So Yaz will walk. They will hold him on, but he's not going to go anywhere. Orlando Cepeda, the batter. Woodson. 3-10 to Cepeda. Ground ball third base A. That's a 5-4-3 around the horn double play to end the inning. And you know what? A seventh inning stretch, and I forgot to stretch. I was so immersed into these substitutions, I forgot to do so. So, sorry about that. We'll just keep rolling. Top of the eighth. Now, do they stick with Moret or do they go on to another pitcher? Got Liz Thompson and Heisel, three righties coming up. And they do have right-handed activity in the bullpen. Bobby Boland, but he's like their closer, so I don't think you want to use him. They may have to go to someone else. They're going to go to Bob Veal. I think they figured Moret gave him 4 innings. That's good enough. So Bob Veal is going to come on and be the new pitcher for the Red Sox. Let's do the line on Moret. He went 4 innings. Only gave up 2 hits. No runs. And let's see, how many did he walk? He walked 2. And he struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a stellar outing there for Moret. 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Veal, your new pitcher. He's a +9 on the whole, so that makes that a +5 if it gets to that. It's definitely not going to help the run game at all. But Veal, and now by taking Veal off the bullpen, we have Boland, Garman, and Skoke left in their bullpen. And now for the Twins, it'll be Joe Liss. Joe Liss, the right-hander. Hello, Mr. Steve Tower. I almost forgot to see. I wasn't looking at the computer, so I didn't see you there. Tough day so far for your Red Sox, though, particularly Marty Patton. He got shelled early. Gave up 6 runs in 3 innings, so didn't do so well. Here's Veal to Liss. 6-7, and that is a ground ball second base X. We are looking at Griffin. He's a 2 E8. 2 with an E8. 2 and a 3 is problematic, but he will get to it. There's a 13 on an E8. So he makes the play. It's a tough play, but he made it. And Veal retires the first batter he faces. Here's Danny Thompson, the shortstop. Veal 1-8 against the lefty for Thompson is a ground ball back to Veal. 2 down. And it flips it over to Larry Heisel. .312 against the lefty. That's a ballpark home run chance for Larry Heisel. He does have normal power. It's a 1-17. That's a 9. It's gone. Larry Heisel, the third ballpark home run at Fenway Park. Larry Heisel makes it a 7-2 game. Third time the ballpark home run has bit the Red Sox. Now 7-2. With 2 outs in the 8th. Veal to Carew, 4-7 is a 1-16 single, so it will be a single for Rod Carew. I may need some more lead in this pencil here. Single for Carew, and that's going to send up Oliva. Another lefty on lefty matchup. 1-6, and that's a fly to left to end the inning. But the damage was done. Now 7-2. And let's see if the Twins, I think, are going to try to get one more inning out of Woodson if they can before he tires. So we'll see if he can go one more inning. Rico Petrocelli will lead off for the Red Sox. 1-5 for Rico is a strikeout. So not a good day for Rico. He's 1 for 3 with a single, a walk, and a strikeout. Here's Pudge Fisk. He's 2 for 3. 4-8, and that's a line out to second. There's a dot there, but he's not tired yet. Hasn't given up enough hits to be tired. He's only given up 2 walks since his point of weakness, so he's still in good shape as far as fatigue goes. And that'll bring up Rick Miller. Yes, Craig Skoke is in the bullpen. Yes, you're absolutely correct. 4-8 against the lefty is a ground ball to first. And that's going to end the inning. Now we'll cap Woodson at 8 innings. So Woodson's going to go 8 innings. And he's going to allow, let's see how many hits he gave up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got him for 6 hits allowed. And of course the 2 runs. He did walk quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 walks. Struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So an interesting line there for Woodson. 8 innings pitched, 2 runs, 6 hits, 6 walks, and 5 strikeouts. And of course, he's in line to be the winner. And now for the Red Sox, Veal. Does he come in to pitch again to stay in the game, or do they go to Bolin maybe in relief? I think they'll go to Bolin. Bobby Bolin. Bobby Bolin. So now Bolin will come on. His hold's -1, so that makes it a -4. Not that anybody's going to go anywhere. Veal went 1 inning, gave up the one run on 2 hits, and didn't walk or strike anybody out. So the Twins have pounded 11 hits so far, and they lead it as we go to the 9th, 7-2. And now with Bolin being used up, that leaves Skoke and Garman in the bullpen in case they need to go that direction. Start the top of the 9th. It'll be Darwin, Braun, and not Braun, Darwin, Terrell, and Mitterwald due up for the Twins. Bolin 2-5 to Darwin is a 1-14 double. That's a 10. Darwin will crack a double to lead off the inning. Bobby Darwin. Score being what it is, they're not holding anybody and nobody's going anywhere. Here's Jerry Terrell. This is his first time up. They took over for Braun. Bolin to Terrell. 2-5 for Terrell. Ground ball shortstop B. So with the B and a runner the ball hit to second, he will have to hold at second base with the ball going to shortstop. So 1 away, and here's Mitterwald. Bolin to Mitterwald. 2-5, and that's a single, 2 stars. That'll score the run. RBI single for Mitterwald. That makes the score now 8-2. as even their closer Bolin can't get through unscathed. The only one that did was Moret. Bolin 5-10, and that's a fly to left field for out number 2. Joe Liss steps to the plate. 1, so a wild pitch on a 4 or less. No wild pitch. Fisk blocks it. 6-6. 6-6 on Bolin is a fly to center field, and that's going to end the inning. The Twins added an insurance run, not that they needed it. Bolin goes 1 inning, gives up 2 hits and a run. No walks, no strikeouts. So Minnesota, 8 runs on 13 hits. How about that? 8 runs on 13 hits. Boston did not make an error. All right, so now we need a new pitcher for the Twins because they took out Woodson after 8 innings, figuring he did enough. And they can go to either Bill Campbell, Rich Hands, Ken Sanders, or Eddie Bain. And really, with the score being what it is, you can kind of do what you want to do. They will go to Bill Campbell. Bill Campbell is your new pitcher. Sanders actually had 13 saves. I think he was more their closer. So Campbell will be the pitcher. He became the closer for Boston later in the couple of years from now. But right now for the Twins, he is just getting his feet wet, I guess. So Bill Campbell. And he's a +8, so it's not really going to matter. I don't think they're going to run anywhere. And now let's check the bench for the Red Sox. They might want to go do some pinch hitting because they're at the bottom of the order, and they could use some offense. So let's see who they might want to go to. These are the bench players they have available. Aparicio, Cater, Evans, Kennedy, Montgomery, and Ogilvy. Ogilvy, the only lefty. And let's see who's coming up. We got second and short. So they can pretty much do whatever they want. They're going to lead off with Dwight Evans. Or are they? He had a bad year that year. Actually, they're going to lead off with Danny Cater. So Danny Cater is going to pinch hit for Griffin. And then Ogilvy is going to hit for Guerrero. So I'm going to have Cater and Ogilvy pinch hitting here in the top of the 9th against Bill Campbell to start the 9th. Just so you can't say I'm not trying for Boston. We will have 2 pinch hitters, Cater and Campbell. Or Cater and Ogilvy, rather. 4-5 struck him out. So Cater is out on strikes in the pinch hitting role. And that'll bring up Ben Ogilvy. The only lefty on the bench for the Red Sox is Ben Ogilvy. Oh, not Mario Guerrero. What am I doing here? Ben Ogilvy. He's hitting for Guerrero. So Ogilvy will be the pinch hitter for Guerrero. 2-4, and he's going to ground it to short. So both pinch hitters fail. And now we're back to the top of the order, and Tommy Harper. Not going to pinch hit for Tommy Harper. He hit .281 with 17 homers. Probably not going to pinch hit for him. So it is Tommy Harper. Last gasp effort for the Red Sox. 6-8. 6-8 is a walk to Harper, so it does keep the game going temporarily for Reggie Smith. Switch hitter. Reggie Smith. Campbell will pitch to Smith. Five, 6 against the switch hitter batting left is a fly to right field, and there's your ball game. So that's going to do it. Red Sox go meekly here in the 9th inning. They do get a walk, and that was it. A walk and a strikeout. Nothing else. So there's your line score for Minnesota. 8 runs, 13 hits, and no errors. For Boston, 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. Winning pitcher was Dick Woodson. Loser was Marty Patton. Of course, there was no save based on the score. And if we had to give a player of the game, Well, you could give it to Oliva. He was 3 for 5 with a home run, so he's certainly in the mix for the player of the game. Could give it for Dick Woodson for pitching 8 innings, only giving up 2 runs to a powerful Red Sox lineup. So make your pick there on who the player of the game is. Could be co-player of the game, maybe. I don't know. Next thing on the channel will be the 1967 Inside Pitch American League replay. It'll be the Boston Red Sox against the it'll be the Baltimore Orioles against the Boston Red Sox. I'll get it right eventually. And that game is going to be a game that was played on September 17th. It'll be Gene Brabender against Gary Bell. That'll be on an Inside Pitch. That'll be tomorrow. Probably recording rather than live, but we'll see. But anyway, now that we can update this, Boston, like I said, I'll take this very gnarly board here. They're now 62 and 33. They're now 7 games ahead of the Orioles, depending on what the Orioles do. So Orioles are still in striking distance. They're 7 games back, but if they win their game, they'll be 6.5. And anything can happen. It's just the All-Star break, so stranger things have happened, and the Orioles did win the 73 season in real world, so they obviously had talent. Like I said, the A's have pretty much wrapped up what they were doing. Looking ahead in this replay, Tuesday night will be the All-Star game, so I will broadcast that live after Robert finishes his Inside Pitch game. That'll be from Royal Stadium in Kansas City, 1973 All-Star game. And then let's look ahead to the 73 regular season. Like I said, most of the action will be in the National League, because that's where the pennant races are. Primarily is in the National League. So looking ahead past the All-Star break, or past the All-Star game, I should say, San Francisco will be playing Los Angeles. That will be the Saturday game from July 28th. So that'll be next Saturday. It'll be the Giants and the Dodgers renewing their rivalry. And then we're going to have Boston playing Baltimore on August the 4th. So Baltimore will get their chance. They're going to have the Red Sox at home. So 2 weeks from today, Boston will travel to Baltimore, and we'll see if Baltimore can, make up any ground there and see what happens. So that's the next couple things happening there. Do hope you enjoy part of your Saturday, or the rest of your Saturday, rather. Thank you for spending part of your Saturday with me. Thank you for everyone who came in, and hopefully everything came through okay with this kind of score sheet that I've got now. Get it back in place here where you can see everything, hopefully. You too, Steve. Happy gaming to you. One of these days I will get around to really learning second season football. Maybe when football season starts, I'll dig into that, because I do have the copy of the game and a season, but I just haven't sat down and gone through the whole thing. So may watch a couple of your videos and maybe some other ones to see about maybe getting Al Wilson's solo play calling sheet, and see if I can't learn the game, so I can learn a new game other than baseball. That's all I play. It seems like it's baseball. So the NL standings, Ryan, I will show those real quick. Let me go to the screen here on Strat-O-Matic so I can put it up for you. 73 American League, National League standings, my bad. National League. All right, I will try to show this on the computer on my laptop here and see if you can see it. Don't know how well it'll show up on the computer that you're looking at, but anyway, maybe take the glare off of that. That might help a little bit. I don't know. But anyway, what we've got here, the Pirates currently lead the Cardinals by 1 game. Remember, the Cardinals lost to the Padres last Saturday. That's what hurt them there. And then the Giants and Dodgers, who played the first week after the All-Star break, the Dodgers trail the Giants by 2 games, which is why I picked that game. And like I said, Pittsburgh leads St. Louis by 1, the Mets by 4, Montreal by 5.5. So those 4 teams are in it. And the National League, the Giants, Astros, and Dodgers are really in it. Cincinnati really underperforming. I don't know when the world's going on with Cincinnati, but they just Strat Computer just doesn't like them apparently. I don't know, but maybe they turn around in the second half, and if they get closer, I'll bring them on. But that's where we're at right now with the standings in the National League. So that's why I'm doing the Dodgers and Giants the first week back, because they're only 2 games separate those 2 teams in the division. So that's where we're at with that. Don't know why it said chat disconnected. That was kind of weird. Oh, well. So there they are. Like I said, it may not show up that well on the screen. I didn't have everything printed ahead of time. But let's see if I can get this to where it's supposed to be. All right, there we go. All right, Robert, we'll check out your game tonight in Inside Pitch along with the world-famous 10-minute ticker. And for everybody else, thank you for tuning in to the Saturday game of the week. Minnesota Twins kind of surprised the Boston Red Sox 8-2, jumping on them with 5 runs in the first 2 innings. Pretty much sealed their fate from the get-go. Those ballpark home runs at Fenway did the Twins in, as you might see. And Dick Woodson, a very surprising 8 innings pitched with just 2 runs, and survived the 6 walks. He scattered those walks and got the victory. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And, of course, hope you enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And I will see you all down the road.